So, last few sessions, Liska answered the Verse of Might, an Urson wild speaker who challenged her Steel Legion creed and charged her to find and raise a direbear cub. He gave a totem of a direbear totem and binding sap. Later on the next morning, Liska entrusted Thule with a staff of the woodlands, and together they began attempting to track some sort of direbear within Etosian jungles, trying to flee some three-toed predator, turning the rescue into a hunt. In Tectahos, Angus and Zerth raise this sort of hourglass-shaped black ziggurat in the Serpent Bazaar and turned evening into a revelation. Raugul, heckled by nobles and barred by guards briefly, took to the air as a hawk and alit amid stares. Outside, he led a fire rite that set the canal ablaze briefly, and then burst into the sky of falling embers to the crowd's awe. Angus dimmed the temple flames, called a Coatl to his ancestral spirits, his divine magic, and it circled the ziggurats, proclaimed the eve of souls under a blood moon, one mortal or dying at the ferryman's table. Among all of you, should you win the Ring of Claws. You then drew gold from the temple's skin and fabricated a single rune gold plate. The ticket itself. Lady Varesh, sponsor of the Hammer Strike, announced a days-long auction. One noble opened with a crisp bid that turned masked heads. Zerth, never missing a note, walked among the crowds, whispering scarcity, letting nobles make a weapon of their own pride, essentially. Budzala's skeletal attendants peeled from the mural to serve drinks among the living. A chill blessing in motion, if you will. And in that glow, Angus's stone shield flared with an old dwarven grudge. Zakpaz, a name tied to an Arcanoloth, who once sold medicine without mercy to the Silverhearth clan. The grudge meant he was near. Back at the guest house, Dejar examined the Duskblade, shattered sword pommel with her laystone siphoner, and tugged a thread of shadow. Something inside slashed her heart cold before retreating. Angus identified this thing as a fallen Duskblade, pinned to Velem's own Sunblade. Its celestial light devoured and replaced by some sort of bound darkness. The bindings could be broken, but the blade would need a new light, a new purpose to live again. You mapped hunts and hazards. Dejar confirmed that Rakan the Pale, a Rakshasa, was hiding somewhere in Tectahos. You also went to Grand Hunter Vorsha to speak of your current quarry, Crothis, to which Grand Hunter Vorsha offered a bold bait and you offered this grand bold bait and blast plan. Vorsha gave you a 2-week window before the lodge struck proper. You weighed. You weighed the various options. You went to the Obsidian Spire to discover the truth about true names. That bar returned specifically for fiends from the Seven Hells. Whispers also placed that body of Crothis in the Crucible Mountains. Etheria watched over Vadmir. Velem joined her at dawn, offering sort of steadiness, a hymn, permission to rest. And in her own dream, Sayun walked the spring markets of Jurinlu's upper districts with Jujin, her uncle and mentor, receiving this clockwork beetle and glimpsing a shady meeting between her uncle and a shadowed figure wearing a red Oni mask in a dark alley, accusing Jujin of being distracted from his own work for them by family, it seems. But now we come back to the game, as Liska continues her hunt. Let me go ahead and bring up my notes here. So, dawn rises over the second day, slow and thick through the canopy. There's this gradual silvering of leaves, soft dew dripping from ferns, the buzz of insects waking to heat. Your camp is already damp from the slow monsoon rains that have gathered here. Your gear already sheathed in sweat and mist. There's no cold wind, just the humid, still breath of the jungle. Tuli is awake before you, kind of perched atop a root, like a sentinel spirit in a way. The staff across her lap as she's just listening to the jungle.
Liska's going to wake up and kind of, yawn, stretch, grab some Angus-made rations, like very buttered, heavily larded and buttered biscuits.
Oh yeah, of course.
with some meat thrown in there, of course.
3 main food groups.
Yep. I'm gonna head on over and offer one to Tuli, and as she sits down beside her on the root.
She takes it and begins eating for the morning.
Did you sleep well?
I did. I've just been listening to the jungle. I reached out. Something's moving that shouldn't be. Deeper in. Something too quiet for its size.
Well, we did happen to fight Bloodhorn, which was a gigantic T-Rex that could turn invisible from time to time.
Oh, that is terrifying. That doesn't sound natural at all.
It was very much not. We wound up killing it, but I have heard that that there are perhaps raptors or other creatures that they are experimenting on the Astarians. Do you think that this is...
The Soresk people?
That.
I have heard of them. What do you mean experimenting?
Liska's going to reach into her bag of colding and pull out some of Bloodhorn's, like, the magical tattooed, or like scarification, whatever the fuck it was. The things that have the magical runes on them. And I'm gonna kind of lift it up out of the bag and just kind of show it to her. Stuff like this.
She gives it a peculiar look and kind of opens out her hand. May I?
Of course. She hands it to her.
She takes the enormous kind of a cured slab of skin with that clearly burned in, sort of scarred ritualistic rune front and center. There's a brief moment as she flickers her eyes and there's this deep verdant glow to them. She examines it closely. Oh, this is the Quite a profane, lingering form of ancient blood magic on it. That is very concerning.
Well, given what we have seen, especially in that cave, blood magic seems to be the motif of those people.
I shall have to tell Lido about this. She might know more about blood magic than I do.
Of course, makes sense.
And hands it back to you.
Yes, puts it back away. So, it is a new day. I know that you could not sense it beforehand, but can you perhaps sense any dire bear nearby now to kind of give us a direction to take
I will
in case
try.
this is just a emotions to the tracks they've been following, just a red herring?
She gives a nonsense. I will try to reach out again. With that, she kind of places the staff of the woodlands firm, kind of vertically against the ground with a tink, and begins to concentrate. Her brow furrows for a moment. Her eyes dart underneath her eyelids. The faint trickle of fey magic that swirls around the staff for a moment. I'm afraid I cannot see anything about the dire bear. Likely not nearby, but I might have some idea.
Oh,
I might need your tracking expertise again, though. I'll just let you lead the way, and I can guide whenever I need to.
let's go nod, and then just kind of sorry, quickly break down the camp, get everything kind of situated, and then going to continue following the aforementioned tracks.
So, today's trail is harder. The jungle grows steep, roots tangle like ropes, old ruins rise in shattered stone along the cliff sides. The bear's path winds, it's very cautious, it's deliberate. It's going to require another survival check from you. And I'll say, considering Tuli is, you have Tuli with you, I'll give you advantage on this.
All right.
20, alright.
Well, 2 14s.
Let me adjust the blue one. There we go. Okay, so the tracks are growing scarce. Moss regrows, rain covers scent, but you generally know what to look out for. Claw kind of dragging along stone, various bits of fur caught in broken reeds, droppings with the tang of jungle fruit. Presumably some days ahead she moves. It's then that you spot a trail of half-chewed fan leaf berries. The rind kind of torn by insides. It's far too large for anything but a dire bear. Nearby you see a disturbed patch of loam, her bulk having pressed into it during a short rest or something. Kind of Tuli comes alongside you. She must have stopped here. Slept maybe. That is good. I mean, she is not fleeing.
Well, at least we are closer. These tracks look a few days old.
Yes,
So,
but do you see that? The weight's even. It's not. There's no limping, but it's like she's heavy. Heavier than I expected. eyes sort of blink for a moment. She places a hand against one of these large paw prints that you can see in the ground that has not quite yet been swept away by the drizzle of rain. And then her eyes sort of widen again. So, are you going to say something?
Continue.
Okay. But pregnant? She must be pregnant.
Yeah, Liska's going to nod, kind of tap her bag where she has the totem. He did say that the bear would come into being whenever I chose my totem, so
That makes sense.
it looks like we are a few days behind a freshly new mother bear, so
We should probably hurry then.
in look out in case she is potentially still alive, but for now, let us go.
She gives you a nod. As you continue throughout the day, give me an insight check when it comes to the various signs that you see of this dire bear.
Sure. 13.
Okay. The pattern of movement definitely matters here. You study the routes, when she's fed, when she's stopped, what she's avoided. Was she scouting a den, searching for water, avoiding anything else? There's somewhere along this point where you end up not quite interpreting a sign of you end up kind of mistaking like what to others would be a skirmish site for instead a resting spot, an old predator's kill area. But and unfortunately, the delay costs a few good hours. You end up following the wrong scent trail, stale and cold. So that would delay you for a bit. About probably you'd end up adding half a day to the search. Alright. Vines begin to cling, cliffs begin to rise. The terrain's getting more difficult to navigate here. You push through various bits of thorn brush and up slick hillsides of jungle slick stone. Especially what you've discovered now. You can't afford to be slowed. Not here, not now. Go ahead and make me an athletics check.
Okay.
29. You brace on the roots, kind of swing yourself upwards, pull through the thicket. Your arms sort of little bits of scratches catch between the adamantine plating. You feel that piercing into the chain beneath. Your legs ache, but you're used to this. You're a mountain folk. You crest up the ridge just in time to spot the gleam of disturbed leaves far below. She definitely came this way.
Do I get a sense that we're catching up? Have we gained any time aside from those few hours lost?
So you have gained time, but not as you've gained pace, not as much pace though. Unfortunately, due to that failed insight check. Yeah, it's how would I put it?
I got it, Jagger.
Yeah.
It's fine. Alright, yeah, just gonna continue tracking.
Gotcha.
Rest when we can. Like, follow when we can.
Alright. What was your earliest survival check? 20. Okay. Yeah, you do notice something new as you continue throughout the day. Among the bear's trail, you notice broken fronds and mud displacement that doesn't quite match her weight. Something smaller, sharper, deliberate. You can see 3 prints in the mud. One's massive. There's the return of that those three-toed tracks you found earlier, clawed, heavy pressure on the heel. And then there's a number of other sets of smaller talons that kind of flank it.
Do these look as big as, like, T-Rex tracks, or are these more like raptors, like the one that Talali had?
So,
Like, where are they closer to one versus the other? In between, smaller?
they almost seem to. These 2 smaller sets of track. Oh, sorry, not 2. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, you can see about 6 in all. 6 pairs. There's 3 on each side of these larger sets of tracks. Make me, I'll say, either a survival or an insight check, just to determine the nature of this set of tracks.
I'll do survival since it makes sense with tracks.
Yeah. 25. This almost looks like an organized escort.
Oh, like a hunting party?
It almost seems that way, yes.
Interesting. Okay. Thinking back on the tracks that... Wait, sorry. Let me kind of rephrase this. Is this the first time I have seen these specific tracks? Or have, like, they... Can, like, Liska put together... Like, oh, those tracks I saw yesterday might have actually been these, but they were just worn down by the weather. Like, is this the first time specifically seeing these types of tracks?
You've seen the larger set of tracks before, but not the smaller ones. These smaller ones are new. And with a 25, it definitely looks like a Tyrannosaurus. 1 pair of Tyrannosaurus tracks and 6 pairs of raptor foot tracks.
Does it look like the raptors came before or after the T-Rex?
It seems that the raptors are scouting ahead of this T-Rex.
Interesting. Okay. That indicates some intelligence. Alright. Liska's going to kind of turn to Thule, kind of give a breakdown of everything she saw. It looks like we might have to hurry some. It looks like she's being hunted. Actively so.
This seems very organized for beasts.
It does. I will be looking for any signs of camping. In case there
Good
are
idea.
perhaps riders or something.
Same
on top of these creatures.
direction, same distance. Maybe half a day ahead of us. I think they're trying to wait for the right spot.
Let us hurry in. Perhaps we can ambush them.
She gives a nod.
Or at least try to sneak past. And with that, this is going to very quickly start heading. And I will say, this is keeping track of the tracks, and kind of gauging. Going forward, she will be gauging the time, okay, they're half a day ahead of us. Okay, they're 5 hours ahead of us. Okay, they're 1 hour ahead of us. And when it gets to that 1 hour or so mark, Liska will ask Tuli to cast Pass Without a Trace.
Okay, so it's not that close just yet. Ooh.
I know that's. I'm just saying.
Yeah, gotcha.
Like
gotcha.
for the future, like you said, half a day away. So she's still gonna. It's just when it gets to that point, that's what Liska will be asking.
All right. So, here, you're not just following paths, you're also kind of reading the jungle like a map. Direction of broken branches, scent drifts, which birds take flight, and when. Patterns tend to mean something. Something about them has definitely changed around here. Let's see, go ahead and make me a nature check. Given Tuli's with you, again, I'll give you advantage on this.
Oof.
Alright.
11.
You find a cluster of disturbed brush, spending time untangling it, but the tracks here are from a herd of pig apes. Not the bear or her pursuers, but takes over an hour to reroute till you manage to find those tracks again. We are losing time.
All this rain, humidity, and the jungle itself, given all the life within it, is working against us.
It is all across Tenzia. It's quite different from Yepwood. Much of this is unfamiliar territory to me, but I am doing what I can. Looks like we're coming up on the ridge now. The jungle rises into a narrow ridge. The slope itself is sharp, muddy, lined with roots slick from overnight mist. If you want a high vantage, you'll have to work for it. Maybe one more athletics check for the day. 25. Easy enough. You drive your hooves into the mud, grip a thick vine, hauling yourself over the ridge, and from the top you glimpse through a gap in the canopy. A flattened clearing with deep claw marks in the clay. Bear tracks. Less than a day old.
This is gonna point. Look, we have picked up our trail again.
I see.
What? Sorry, continue.
She passed through that ridge below. Oh, perfect place for an ambush.
At the center. Liska's going to keep on pushing on.
Alright. So, as the day is beginning to... The sun is beginning to set over the horizon. You've made... You've made some progress. Not as much as you'd hoped with those 2 failed checks. But you're definitely getting closer. So I'll say total that would have added 1 day onto your search for this cub.
Okay.
So I'm just trying to keep track of my notes here. Plus hours. Oh no, so sorry, not entirely day, half a day.
Alright,
My bad. Okay, so eventually you are able to find camp for the evening. Bedding down however you will. If you would like to spend a moment here with Tuli, you may do so.
I think, I mean, of course, Liska would like to. I think it'll just be very similar to the last night. Just kind of sitting talking, kind of regaling of their past. Like Liska talks about growing up in Torment, about how her and her brother were kind of the biggest of the clutch that
Oh,
she
yeah.
was a part of. Crash, I think it's Crash. I can't remember the specific Torment name for group of kids.
tis a crash.
Yeah. And as such, when they were originally kids, were kind of dicks and bullies, and it
Oh.
took a very stern and strong hand to kind of, from the leader of the Kresh, I think it's the Primus,
Mm-hmm.
to be like, hey, you have this strength, and with that strength comes a duty to the people beneath you.
And the wisdom
Like,
to use it, yeah.
Yeah. With great power comes great duty, and how like that, and kind of realizing that, oh hey, the strength that we have, like, it can be something that can be used to guide and protect, and how they both kind of came into their own, and that's how they grew up to lead in like an entire company. And she just kind of goes off on silly shenanigans, like specific pranks and whatnot that they pulled on different members of the company, stuff that they put on them, just kind of reminiscing with a warm glow of nostalgic past on her face about her childhood, essentially. Her informative years in Torment.
Really kind of responds with a... You know, in a manner speaking, the way you stepped up to leadership implies that you might have very well taken on some of the lessons that Luparin wishes to teach you without truly knowing it. In a way, you have learned a lot of the lessons that the wild can teach you already.
Liska nods. I guess I just did not have the, as I would put it, framework to put it all in. I did not know of the wilds. Did not have that perspective.
And has your meeting with this? Did you tell Thule everything about Verse of Might?
Yes.
Or have you kept a few things? Okay. And has your meeting with Verse of Might truly broadened your awareness now of all these things that you might have taken for granted?
Well, it certainly made me more aware of those around me and the world, and what all could be,
And
what all was hidden from me.
Many do not know of the lesser spirits. Most think of the pantheon of the wild, and their mind is automatically drawn to the seven primes. How do you feel that your reconciliation with the wild is compares to your teachings in the Legion? How would you
I mean-
reconcile it?
I do not quite know, but I have an idea of the differences and what all I learned and how that might apply both in the Legion and out. There are certain things like, duty, discipline, the drive to succeed, the drive to work with those around you to a certain victory that are very similar to the Pantheon and all the spirits. But I mean, there's also things outside of what I learned in Torment that, well, not contradictory or still I don't know. They complementary, I would say. Like, I have lived my life with one, and now I know how to. Well, I am trying to learn how to live more. Like my horizons have been broadened. I know that there is more to living than what I learned in Torment. I already kind of knew that, given all the time I spent traveling in Mayland and around Ragnarok, but like I said, it is a new perspective in addition to how I viewed the world previously.
Many might see the spirits as fixed concepts, as spirits of certain rigid aspects of life, war, nature, feasts, that sort of thing. I like to think of the Pantheon of the Wild as more complex than that. They teach us to reflect on our own faults and improve upon our own virtues. You have already seen the benefits of leadership with Wolf Spirit. You have already seen the benefit of merriment and freedom that comes with Hawk, with Eagle. I'm certain that Verse of Might has shown you how you can apply the virtues of the others. There is some degree that I do not think Steel Legion or perhaps the Dominion of Torment itself incites compassion. Yeah, a very hardy folk in the Dominion of Torment, because they have to be. Many monstrous creatures prey on the unwary up there.
It is. I would not say that there is a lack of compassion in Torment. I think. I think what Torment views as compassion, others would probably view very differently. Compassion is pushing your pain is harder past the point of breaking because you know that it will strengthen them for what is to come ahead. Compassion is making them pull themselves up after they have fallen, knowing that it teaches them to rise every time they fall. I think compassion exists in torment. I just think that it is done differently than how it is out in the rest of the world.
You know, Ox teaches something like that. He teaches... He teaches his followers to become immovable, never capitulate. That passion is irrational, intense feeling should be avoided. He teaches people to endure. He is that strict father figure that many do not realize that they crave in their lives. To some degree, I see a lot of Ox in you.
Well, I can at least think of four things that we share. She kind of like wraps a knuckle on her horns.
She gives a faint smile.
But, yeah, I could definitely see myself having gone to Ox if things had been different. But
Also,
I don't know. I think the path I took, and she kind of like rocks her shield back and forth. Took me to Boar instead of Ox.
I think it is the path that you chose. The one that Bear Spirit offered, and you took her hand. Her paw, I should say.
But what about you, Tuli? I know that you have decided to take a path away from Owl. Is there a reason why? If you wish to tell me.
I didn't so much take a path away from Owl as... I suppose... I grew distant over a while. Ever since the fall of Makrov. For a while I did grow somewhat jaded. I have been trying to find my way back to her. But it has been a long and difficult journey. To some degree I would like to return to the Ebonwood. Take my mother's place, as she always intended. Perhaps reconnect with Otric.
Well, I still have a green dragon to slay. Perhaps after that is done, you can return and connect with Aldrich again.
She gives you another smile and a thankful nod. Well, if it would prevent what happened to me from happening to anyone else, I do not wish for the end of this green dragon for the sake of revenge. That is not my way. Nor am I. She kind of trails off for a moment. I would like to see it done.
Like to what? I'm sorry.
She said, I would like to see that.
Liska nods. Like, I do not see why it can't be both to protect and avenge. You can do both at the same time. Do not feel guilty for getting the justice for your people.
Justice, it would be nice. It will be nice, yes, but I am not approaching this from a vengeful perspective. Just
I understand.
just to prevent future harm is all.
Liska nods. It's like that is tends to be the most common reason when slaying dragons. To prevent the future harm that they can inflict upon a people, a nation, a country.
Some dragons are very, very bloodthirsty. Some are very manipulative. And some are very, very avaricious.
That is the nature of dragons. And then Liska's gonna think about that one dragon she met that wasn't like that. And then she's gonna kind of pause, like, well, except for perhaps one. I knew of, well, I think, met a ruby dragon. More different than the red dragons that torment and scorch countryside. It was an odd encounter. It's the random mountain folk that I met. We talked, we discussed. And then in the days after a large-scale war, we found evidence of a ruby dragon having helped destroy an oncoming reinforcements for the army that we were facing. So, I guess perhaps not all dragons.
She gives you a smile. I think I'm going to retire for the evening.
Do not worry, I will keep watch from now. Unless, a question, I guess, Jana. Does she have Druid Grove? Is that something she can cast so we don't have to keep watch?
Let me double check.
It's a 6th level Druid spell.
Yeah. You have to bear in mind that these are NPCs. They have NPC casting stat blocks. But
That's fine.
Yeah. I get what you mean. Oh, yes, she does actually. How does Druid Grove? Druid Grove. Oh, 10 minutes. Yeah. With that, as you kind of ask this, seeing if she can cast a Druid Grove to protect them, to protect the both of you over the night. She gives you a nod. And with that, she begins to take the staff of the woodlands, take it by the end, and begins to divine this circle around all of you, around the both of you. And as time progresses, you begin to see these faint, scintillating flowers begin to grow around the perimeter of this grove. these faint, small, drifting fey lights begin to waft through the air itself, and the grass, the various bits of foliage begin to take on this small, like dark jungle green, and more this bright forested, saturated hue to them. You can also see various tulips beginning to sprout up. These various white tulips, kind of matching the various daisies and the various roses and the various other flowers of the lane. Very sort of like ebonwood aesthetic around this grove here, rather than the essence of the Tahosian wilds.
Yeah. After it's all said and done, Liska's gonna just like shake her head. It's like magic. It's just so crazy.
Oh, you have seen nothing yet. You do not know you do not know what Ida is truly capable of.
Liska's gonna raise an eyebrow. Like, well, can you show me what you are capable of?
She kind of thinks for a moment. Give me a sec here as I examine her spell list.
I will say, Liska said that with kind of like a sly smile and just kind of like eyebrow raise.
Oh.
Being,
Okay.
she's being flirty.
Okay.
She's not like, hey, what magic can you cast?
Go ahead and just make me a just straight charisma check. I'll say with advantage.
Oh god, Liska win her -1. Okay.
You've been you've been exploring with Tuli for a bit. It's, you know her
Nat
fairly
20.
well.
Nat 20, so 19. I rolled a 19 and a 20. The
Okay.
dice favor me.
Okay. Give me a sec
It's-
here. Give me a
She's
sec.
being flirty. Nothing
yeah,
untoward has to
yeah,
happen.
yeah.
I'm just saying.
How would I make this flavorful?
Was Tuli wearing cherry lip balm or something?
No. Hang on. I'm trying to search spell lists for druid.
No problem.
What am I doing? I've actually just got it in the fucking compendium. I could just search it on here. Here we go. Spell lists. Druid. Ooh, okay. She gives you a bit of a raised brow, and a flush across her cheek. There's a moment where she kind of takes her staff and kind of places it in the centre of the druid grove. And you watch she begins to summon a few fey lights from her hand, flickers them one after the other across the staff, and begins to channel control weather.
Oh.
You watch as the previously cloudy night begins to clear. The clouds begin to part in this small opening in the jungle, and you watch as this brilliant what's the I gotta check. This brilliant sort of waxing gibbous of the matron and the waning crescent of the mother. The two moons in the air, in the sky, begin to shed like this mixture of sort of white and faintly red moonlight. She kind of pats the ground next to her.
Liska will sit down beside her. It's kind of looking up at the bared sky, no longer just in the rainy monsoon season that they are.
There's this long moment of quiet as she kind of thinks about her next words carefully. Well, you've certainly seen the confidence of Ida that she presents herself forward as. There is definitely a more reserved demeanour to Thule. How about this? She says as she takes your cheek with her hand and leans in for a kiss. And perhaps then we can fade the
Return the kiss. Yes.
Alright. Well, okay.
Hope you don't mind.
Hooray!
Hope everyone didn't mind Liska on a date
Getting
with a girlfriend. Yeah.
No, not at all. My mic was
She deserves it.
my mic was muted at the time. I was trying to say something along the lines of, you know, she's not asking for a spell, but she doesn't have to be a necromancer to suck the soul out of her body.
Jesus.
With that sly smile.
What? My
Like-
God, dude.
Oh, don't act like Liska can't get none.
Liska, she's Big Mama. Anyway, so let's go to someone else.
Shall we head on to another someone else?
Fade
Okay.
to black.
Yeah.
Enter new scene.
Black.
Introducing. It's suddenly got real steamy over here.
Vellum, getting some from Varesh.
The humidity
Fade to
has-
black.
Who would
New
like-
scene again.
My
New scene again. Oops. Wrong
The narr-
curtain.
Yeah, the narrator. Oops.
50%.
So, who would like to take the spotlight next?
I will say, like before, just to excuse Zerth from future scenes, I will say for the next few days, he will actively be going around the city, hyping up the auction.
Of course.
Like that's just what he's going to be doing. He's going to be spending his time in taverns, talking and singing about the Hammer Strike, just really hyping them the fuck up, mentioning the auction in like the fancier taverns, like the more upscale stuff. Just, you know, drumming up business for his bro Angus.
Nice.
Being the absolute ultimate wingman.
Yeah.
God, I love
So
that
that's
guy.
so that's what he's doing. So I don't have to be in any scenes.
Okay. Right. Who wants to take the spotlight next?
Non-fade to black scene. Would I be able to maybe actually chill with Vellum for a little bit and finish a project
Yeah.
and have a little narrative moment with it, and then pivot to sort of like a spiritual conversation with Rao, if you're down for that?
Yes.
All right. So, where are you finishing up this project in the estate gardens? Or
I'll
would you like
say
somewhere
yes.
else?
He's been working in his little smith's forge in the estate gardens.
All right.
Is it still like the early part of the day, or how's it going?
It's morning right now. Oh wait, no. because there was all that stuff that happened last time. So I'd say mid-afternoon at this point.
Okay. Where would I find Vellum?
Where would you find Venom? Are you muted, Sable?
Looks like he is.
Yes, he is.
Oh.
Okay, so stuff has arrived.
I wish his shopping's arrived. Okay, I see.
Oops. Well,
I heard that I was needed. I do need to put the Frozens away, but after that I'm good for whatever. What's going on?
oh, I was just gonna have a scene. Don't worry about that. I will pivot instead. All right, Rao, you want to do yours first?
Yeah.
Sure.
So then it would be the afternoon, and you'd be getting a message spell from him saying, "Oh, hey, come to the estate. I want to plan some of our activities. See how we work as a team. I have more chocolate."
Hell yeah, dude. Dude, I'm just gonna say it right now. Druid bird form for fast travel is probably the best part of the druid kit. I'll hawk on over there, man.
Hell yeah.
Rao will respond.
I'm gonna refrain. I'm restraining myself.
Rao will respond and agree to meet you at the estate, as much as he balks at the idea of going there again.
Well, maybe we could spar. You might rough up the terrain a little.
He agrees to your terms and conditions.
When you do arrive, you see he's sitting outside of the tower that he set up. He has this dwarven tower that he,
Of course he does.
erects.
I'm not
he does.
stepping into your erection, dude. That's not happening.
No.
This isn't gonna be
No,
another
that's
one of
not.
them fade
He's
to black
hanging out.
scenes.
He's hanging out outside. And scene change. No.
Okay.
He's hanging outside. He's got just like his working apron on. It's, seems he's with the door open. He was working on some kind of magical enchanting craft, and he's taking a little bit of a break right as you arrive. And he holds up a hand. Oi, hail there!
I know I didn't say so in the message, but perhaps you misunderstand my purpose. It seems that everyone wants to spar me. I'm a spiritual guide, not a fighter.
Well, the sparring was more of an excuse to get you to come out. I figured if you had a chance to ruin the topiaries, you might actually show up.
This is true, but while on my flight over here, I had a different idea. We're both, what's the common expression? Men of the cloth? I say instead of...
His eyes glance back to his plate mail in the other room. Yeah, sure.
Figure of speech.
Yes. He gets it. He goes on. He just sees the irony of it. To the guy who's shirtless.
How about they... Yeah, exactly. How about I propose a different kind of wager?
Go on.
Your spirits versus mine.
Oh.
Are you sure, lad?
Of course, there's no better way. Like I said, I am a spiritual guide. It is a true measure of my abilities.
Do you want me to just do something kind of so-so? Or bring out the big guns?
I suppose we should test our upper limits, shouldn't we?
I suppose you're right then, lad. I suppose you're right. Let's see what I've got. And he goes and he collects his shield and slams it down with all the inscriptions and the little tassels over it, all the little holy marks.
Rao is currently putting on his dual disc.
Get ready to do the duel.
Sorry, continue. I didn't mean to. I had an intrusive joke.
No, it's fine. Since we have the rest, it would be this.
Oh yeah, let me hit
What
that rest
can I
button.
do with this one? Yep.
Where is the rest? There it is. There we go. Okay. Oh, all I used apparently was a 4th level spell slot. That can't be right. I must not have cast those spells last session. Or I didn't click the button at least.
Let's see. Does this require a special component? Just verbal and somatic.
Let's see. Is this one I can cast, or do I need a really expensive thing for it?
That's what I was just checking.
Hold on, I gotta figure out how to navigate the new spell list. View. Okay. Okay, can't use that one. Okay, that one I can do.
I don't know if this is going to be a good one or not. Let's see. Okay, so that requires a named creature, so instead I'm going to do an unnamed creature. So are we bringing out the biggest spell for this one?
Yeah, the biggest one you can muster. That isn't gonna like cost you serious like investiture. You know, you're not spending 1,000 gold on a summoning anchor or whatever.
This says it doesn't cost anything.
Oh, are you? You're. I was gonna do summon and Fey. So I'm doing summon Fey. You're doing summon Celestial. So that's kind of funny. Yeah. All right. How do I cast it now, though? How do I cast it?
Right, okay.
There we go. There we go. Okay.
It only has some of the creatures for the default.
Right. What are you wanting to summon or conjure? I might have it in my monster list.
Well, the one at the top of the list that might be best. I was gonna try is maybe like a winged lion.
Winged lion. Okay, so I don't have that. I can't import that. I'd have to create a new one from scratch. So what I'll do.
No problem.
Thinking Beyond. Look for. Hang on. Winged lion. Beyond. I cannot find that anywhere. Okay, so
You have a lion.
I have a lion, but not the stacks of a winged lion. So what we'll have to do, we'll just play this by ear. We'll theatre of the mind it, and I'll just
Sure, that's fine.
Yeah, I'll just go ahead and yeah.
Well, and that does even better, because rather than just a lion, let's say it's like a celestial runs through the air kind of ram, because that's
Okay.
more thematically appropriate for
Gotcha.
people. How do you feel about that?
Yeah. A ram conjured from the peaks of valor themselves. Yeah, we can do that. What are you conjuring, Rogul?
Again, I don't. Do you mind if it's just either of the mind?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A level
Yes.
7 for Rao is a night hag, which.
Yeah. It's all right.
So, like, if I could just flavor it as, oh wait,
Yeah.
I've got a whole like library of beasts. 1 second. Should open
I
up.
suppose. Yeah, you can.
I've got a name.
You could really do whatever you want.
Just takes the appearance of something, really. We're gonna go with giant crocodile.
All
By
right.
giant crocodile, I mean like, God, what was that period in history where animals were just like super big?
Oh, I know exactly.
Megalodon?
I know exactly what you mean.
Oh,
Yeah.
everything was megafauna?
Yeah, megafauna. Yeah, the megafauna cower, the river crocodile, the primordial ancestor of crocodiles.
Sarcosuchus.
Hell yeah.
A Sarcosuchus. Boom.
Oh! And I have a flying goat.
We're literally just like Pokemon battling right now, dude. Do you want to just do like a test of like will or something, or I guess a test of wisdom, and just
Sure.
resolve it with like a roll or two,
Yeah. Go.
Yep.
or maybe,
So-
or we could just play fucking rock paper scissors. I don't care.
Go ahead and roll me
Rock-
compete. Oh,
Yeah, I was just about to say best of 3.
Yes.
Let's see.
yeah.
Best
Both
of 3. Yeah. Okay.
But both of you give me competing wisdom saving throws. Or sorry,
Okay.
I'll say competing wisdom checks. There we go.
Okay.
Checks
I'll
or
roll all
saves?
3 of mine. There we go.
Checks.
Oh, well, there you go, buddy. There's my 3. I started strong.
Don't edit the score.
I can do that. Oh, damn! I got 23 on all of them then.
Yep, just competing
Trying-
wisdom
I'm trying to-
checks.
I'm trying. The sheet's not doing it, buddy.
Oh, is it a bit laggy?
Very.
Hang on.
He's gonna put 20 will checks or wisdom checks in the chat.
So +4. You just click the Okay.
I'm trying, dude.
Do you want me to do that? Oh, there you go. There you go.
It keeps trying to do the thread of fate.
Damn, beat my best score. Oh no, okay, I got the
Yeah.
first one.
It just you just close out the thing of the thread of fate. There you go.
Yep. Got it.
It's close. What is it? So it's 23 to 21, 11 to 12. So it's 2 to 1 in my
9
favor.
to 5.
Yeah,
Yeah, 2 to 1 in your favor. You won.
barely.
shit.
Yeah.
So, how would you describe this battle that takes place here in the gardens of the Damascus estate?
Oh, let's see. Is yours like corporeal or is it kind of a spiritual creature?
It'd
I
be
imagine his
spiritual.
is all
Yeah. It's all
same
like
thing.
thematic, all like ethereal and
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh.
almost like a big ghost.
I envision this thing like there's this, it's running through the air, sort of ram. It keeps trying to swoop down and strike with the horns, and it's trying to do these hit and run kind of tactics. But it comes in maybe a little bit too close to the front angle, and not realizing that despite its size, it's still incredibly fast. You think it's a couple of good bites in until eventually maybe it's able to
A
pull
death
it
roll.
down and
Yeah. Then that one initiates
spin.
death roll, spins. Yeah, the crocodile spin.
Yep.
I think mine would have been outclassed because mine can't fly. So just
It
would be
just made a
constantly
really
taking
bad
pot
call.
shots, yeah. But I guess the crocodile might just be more like he's hardy. He's a big ass crocodile. I guess that's how you flavor that.
Yeah.
Only
Angus
took
is
one
gonna
hit.
kind of grimace and clap, and he dismisses the rended soul.
I'll dismiss the giant crocodile before it causes any issues.
There's a
That
brief.
one looks a bit different, lad.
As I said, I have many spirits at my disposal.
Is this an individual spirit of a beast?
Indeed.
Hmm.
It is the named king, or the once ancient king of the river something or other, which I can't remember.
You don't remember your own
River Placid.
backstory.
There's a lot of river. The Tansin River, right?
Yeah.
Tansin River crocodiles. An ancient spirit. In the primordial era of Tansin's formation.
That's interesting to consider. Anything that isn't one of my ancestors or one of my kin, you know, a person, pretty much, as he gestures to himself, is just a beast. It's nothing specific. It's not truly something that once was, unless it was in some way tied to me. That's just the image of a great ram, not the great ram such and so. Maybe there's more power and wisdom with the named than there is not. He kind of scratches his chin at the notion.
Well, I must admit, I didn't know my parents very well. I don't even know my ancestors very well. Perhaps it's why I seek out the named creatures, because I can't connect to my own past.
Would you ever want to, if you could?
For the first time in the time that you've known him, he looks like contemplative. Like he's never considered the prospect of it before. I suppose if I claim to be a spiritual guide for others, perhaps I should also know myself.
It can be hard to lead others down a path you yourself have never walked. Though sometimes part of that is what faith comes out to be. You may
Well-
be able to do something about that. My specialty happens to be speaking to ancestors, not even my own.
Well, priest, I proffer a deal. You teach me to find my ancestors, and I teach you how to find more, I hate to use the word intimate, relationships with your spirits. Truly know their name, their true names.
And you see the scratching of his chin doubles over. Aye, you got a deal, lad.
Holds out a hand for a shake.
Grasped by the forearm.
Damn, I kind of like this friendship that's developing between the druid and the cleric.
Well, he kind of stretches his back. That's a good sort of warm-up. Is that the main thing you think you'd be doing, Afreet? Or would you be trying to cast magic bolts or turn the ground into mud or something of the like?
Kind of shakes his head no. No. My main abilities revolve around the summoning of spirits. But I also know many curative spells and boons, shall we say. And if things get desperate, if we get into what appears to be an unwinnable fight, I always have my trump card of calling Damasuni to the field. Though I'd much rather not use that.
Damasuni.
It's the being that fought Liska not but a few days ago.
Ah! Yes, as he snaps, and he brings his wrists in very close to his chest and closes his fists all except for his pointer and middle finger, mimicking the tiny arms of a T-Rex.
Yes, that one. Although I think he might swallow you whole, had you refer to him as Tiny Arms.
Well, you can choke on me. Right then, that's good to know. There's, with our group, Liska, the large blue one, who's been out on the town, it seems. She's quite good at holding things at bay. Nothing gets too slow. Nothing that gets too close is stopped in their tracks. God, I need a drink to speak straight. There's Bellum, the lad with the shiny sword. Somewhat armored. He's a bit reckless and hot in the head, but he's quite hot in the blade as well. It's made out of the sun itself. He tends to hold back smaller groups or swing around the sides and do bits of damage. Xiaoyun. She's something of our own marksman of sorts. A little bit of magic, a whole lot of boom. Steve Dejar. She's an oddball. She's got a lot she can do. It's hard to predict her. She doesn't really fall into one category. She's not all utility, she's not all damage. And after the last few fights and a spell on her, well, her mind, she's not all there. I think she's at a changing point of her life, where she's going to be more certain in her actions, consistent. This might be formative for her.
I did sense some spiritual distress in that one.
His face instantly darkens.
Although,
I'm not
there seems to be a dark...
too deep, but yes.
He'll follow it up with, although there seems to be a dark cloud following your whole group. It says, I feel as though something is watching you. Something has its eyes on you, and I don't mean in the divine favor sort of way.
What makes you say that?
It's a premonition. I can't explain it. Just a feeling. But unfortunately for my volition, feelings tend to be rather true, even if I can't interpret them.
I don't like hearing it. Not because you're wrong, but because I've felt the same. It's been more faint. I've been able to excuse much as coincidence, even a coincidence time and time again. But too many ill-fated omens have happened all at once, back to back. Things just haven't sat quite right since we crossed that wall. I'd stay away from the Morbog if I could, lad. That great place of the undead past the Gold Wall. Nothing's right there. And even when you leave the place, it doesn't quite leave you.
I sense, perhaps, it is more than the bog that is hanging over you, though. Something far older. But, again, I've only known you for a short time. Perhaps it's just a passing feeling, or perhaps this tournament is looming over me too, and it's starting to infect all of my sensations.
Oh, there's nothing wrong with the tournament, lad. It's just that we're the ones cursed, and now you're guilty by association.
You do
Sorry
know how to fill a
about
man with confidence, dwarf.
Listen, if I'm the cursed one, and I'm this grand, what excuse you got, huh? And he reaches over and he slaps you near the lower back, because he's a short dwarf, and that's probably all about he can reach.
Oh, there is something I wanted to speak of.
Oh, yes.
I'm afraid I'm not the as inquisitive or investigative as I'd like to be, I'm having a hard time determining who our other opponents are going to be. I know most of who Madame Zanzil is sending, but I'm not aware of the other ones yet. I believe the key to this tournament is going to be, what's the turn of phrase? Knowing thy enemy?
Hey, it's hard to go in with the thought of victory if you don't even know what you're going to be fighting against.
I am almost certain there are spies looming around us. In fact, I'm not entirely uncertain that our little bout wasn't spied upon. Zanzil's team is going to be doing a lot of underhanded tactics and dirty work, shall we say. I don't think we should be in the dark on this. And though I don't have the resources, I believe Hammerstrike might have connections. So a way to learn our enemy, as it were.
Yeah. Scout out the opponents, see what the competition's up to, who they even are. I do draw the line at poisoning them before a competition.
That would not
Just so you
prove
know.
my point. That would not prove my point. Again, I have to crush Zanzil's team. I can't just have them poisoned. They must be utterly defeated.
Ah, at the greatest peak of strength, you wish to bring them down to the dirt.
It's the only way to prove my point.
Man, that's gonna be difficult, you know. Are you sure you don't want to do things a little bit more clever, a little more underhanded? You just want to charge at the problem straight on like that?
I'm afraid that's all I've ever done. I don't think it's going to work this time. I won't poison them or sabotage them, but I'd like to know what kind of magic they're going to use, what kind of fighting style they're going to use. If they have a priest, if they have a druid. Those kinds of magics would be key if we knew them.
True. If we knew them is the key part.
Well, that was the true reason for my visit. If you could ask the other members of your party, perhaps you could point me in the right direction.
I'm sure we could. In fact, Jar, a snake-like wizard, also dabbles in a bit of roguery, to my understanding. She's not at all unfamiliar when it comes to picking a lock or doing something a little bit more, how shall I say, discreet. We may be able to learn yet. But again, with that said, if you had the chance to do something more sly, as he wiggles his fingers, such as slipping a poison or putting a curse or something before the fight to weaken him, would you want to?
Those tactics are beneath me. And Dumasani would no longer answer my call should I ever use subterfuge to defeat my enemies.
So, straight on from the front it is then.
It would just be nice to know what we're crashing into.
He instantly just beams with that. Aye, but we'll be the ones to crash into it, as he thumbs at his own chest.
Indeed. Alright. I think we can conclude that scene, give other people some spotlight.
Yep. He'll go back to his work, smile on his face, seemingly very encouraged by your answers. You can see in the little corner, Angus will remember that.
I will, Rao is going to ask for you to call for him again once we have a new step in our plan determined, or if should you even want to bout, call for him again, and he'll hawk form fast travel away back to his grove.
And he'll hawk Tua, his own grove.
God damn it, shut the fuck up.
Perfect. Little does he know he will be called again for another great bout soon. Tonight, for a feast, who can eat the most ham? A challenge that is brewing.
My God.
I fear your group is being watched by dark presence. That's yeah. I'm just throwing out ominous bullshit, by the way. I have no idea the deep lore. I'm just saying.
I love
I'm just
that.
saying. I'm just being an ominous like spirit, man.
Spiritual 99.9% right.
I mean, is
Speaking poor tense, he has no idea.
yeah. Oh, did you want to?
He had no clue how right he was.
Even me as the player has really no idea if he's right or wrong.
Yeah. Right. Did you want to have a scene with Angus and Willem as well?
Sorry, brain turned to mush. I had to rev myself up. Atlas, so what are you thinking? Chronologically, like I don't know if there's anything until like after we're done with the day's work, but if there's something you want to do before then, with you know,
Well, this is the final day to craft it.
Yep. There was a scene.
So-
There was something with Rasmund at some point. I don't remember when that would be. But...
It was at some point today.
Oh yeah, I'd considered lunchtime, but we can wibbly wobbly timey wimey it.
Yeah.
Unless you need a,
Why
unless
not
you need a
turn
break
it
from
into
all
a
that
nice
role
dinner?
playing. Now we're gonna go check out gotta go check out property of our workshop. Get some work. Man, I am struggling to get my brain
Do you
going
want to
today.
do that scene first? I just had a player scene.
Yeah, I was
Do you
about to say,
wanna
do you need
pivot
like
to
a,
someone
like a
else?
little break to get yourself
Sure.
Yeah, that's
I
fine.
am-
I'm fine. I don't necessarily need a break for me. If you want to have that, or if you or somebody else wants to do something, I just don't want to hog all the limelight. Or
Well, let's
be
do
in
it chronologically
every scene
then.
back to
Like-
back.
Yeah, chronologically, like lunchtime-ish. Probably take a break from working with Angus. Angus can get some food. Wrestle alligators with the boy or some shit. I don't know.
Sure, yeah. Fucking, this was Angus taking that break. So while he's kind of shooting the shit and hanging out with Rao, what are you up to?
Yeah. So, assumedly, I can't say Rasmund again. I'm never gonna fucking get over that. Varesh. Assumedly, she's about.
Yeah. She kind of came out onto the balcony to see what on earth that hubbub was with the two spirits fighting. I thought I
Sorry!
just take it out to the front courtyard. There's less flowers to grow in there.
Oh, they're incorporeal. Everything's fine.
They're incorporeal is such a good argument.
All right, whatever.
Sorry. Sorry, that got me too giggly. I had to restart my brain. Yes. Velum will head on over to Varesh. Ms. Mazga, I believe
Oh,
you
yes.
had a. We were gonna go take a look at a potential warehouse workshop situation.
Yes, it is not quite a warehouse, but it is just on the edge of the valley on the outskirts of Tectarus. We can head there now if you wish.
Yeah, it'd be good to take a break from work. It's a
Alright.
bit trickier to wrap my head around all this roomcraft and stuff.
Of course.
Seeing Angus work is a whole other thing.
Right. I will let everyone know I am parting, and then we can head off. And with that, she kind of does the rounds around the various members of the scant staff that kind of call the estate home as well. She kind of signals her two bodyguards to follow her. And eventually you head out of the city. The jungle mist kind of lingers on the outskirts of Tectarus, turning every frond into this like brushstroke of dew and gold. It's getting towards mid-afternoon at this point, but the air is already kind of thick with warmth and promise. Varesh kind of walks ahead of you, her usual finery exchanged for something simpler, soft boots, a linen sash at her waist, hair tied up with only a single obsidian pin. She moves with purpose, but there is a looseness in her step that does betray this anticipation. Eventually, the trail veers off from the main trading road, past a crumbling marker of stone wrapped in vine. The property is hidden beneath a canopy of ferns and other trees. The birds kind of wheel lazily overhead, and the din of the city fades entirely. A low wall of weathered stone frames the estate's edge, half covered in moss, half surrendered to time. A carved gate, sun-bleached and leaning, kind of bears this old Tahosian house glyph, worn smooth. Varesh glances back over her shoulder. "It is not much yet," she says, kind of lifting the latch with a creak. "But it is private, unwatched. That is the point." She leads
Are
you
we at
to.
the outskirts? Sorry, I was about to say, are we at the outskirts of it, or have we entered this point?
You're at the outskirts of it right now, but she's going to leading you to the courtyard, choked with tangled weeds and creeping vines. The stone beneath is sort of cracked but solid, and at the centre of this courtyard is a dry fountain shaped like a coiled serpent knot that still clings to some semblance of faded dignity. Behind it stands the structure, a single-level longhouse with a heavy sort of junglewood beams, stone columns etched faintly with faded runes. The roof tiles have very much sort of slipped in place, but the bones of it are good. Thick walls, shaded eaves, very quiet.
Look at the bones. Sorry.
There is more to this place than we'd use right now, she says, kind of turning in a slow circle to take in the wings of the building. 3 wings, multiple chambers. All of it could be restored one day, but for now, I see you here, just this north wing. And it gestures to this raised portico where your forge would go. Heat-treated brick floors, natural vent above, chimney ready to be rebuilt. You wouldn't need anyone underfoot. She says, just your work, and maybe a single clerk if you want some to pass on orders while you're away. No apprentices unless you choose them.
As we've been going through, presumably it's similar to the image you've presented.
Yeah.
And how, like, if just I had to eyeball a scale of how big each section is, because there's multiple wings.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how big would each of them be?
The sort of workshop space is. Give me a sec here. There we go. It's fairly roomy. About like 16 square feet. What looks to be some sort of tavern area. Where is it?
You don't need to be precise. Like, you just eyeball it with.
Yeah. It's again fairly roomy. It's got its own kitchen. Which is kind of cramped for now, but serviceable.
Vel's attention is drawn mainly to the. I hesitate to call it the skylight. It's more like a hole in the ceiling, but he's been sort of very carefully surveilling the particular space that would work best for him. And then as he sort of milled about the room, like seeing the sun come down, and he drew his eyes upward. Yeah, I could set up right here. Move some of these things around and
Well, I'm afraid that hole in the ceiling is not exactly an intended feature. I'm sure
it is now.
Oh,
You do remember how I work, Miss Masker.
yes. I suppose. Well, I mean, the rest can wait. The tavern, the kitchen. If one day you want to turn that hole over there, which kind of points off towards one corner of the another wing. If you want to turn that hole into a gallery or that chamber over there into a tavern, we can do it then. But right now, this doesn't have to be a full-blown operation.
At the end of the day, I'm only needing somewhere to work while I'm here. And at this point, he's gotten like a little bit apart from now, and he's actually scribbling some kind of notes idly as they talk.
Of course. There's a small room at the back you could turn into a secure living quarters. Enough space for your tools, your stock, and bed. You could lock it all down and no one gets in without you knowing.
Vellum pauses his notes, and then moves to the room she pointed out, the one that could be considered a secure living space. What state is this room in? Like, how much is the wear and tear?
It's quite run down. It's fairly cramped. Could use plenty of work. It's more akin to like a shed than anything, but within like the stone confines of a room.
Because ideally, if this is mostly mental spitballing, if Vladimir doesn't wake up anytime soon, she is safe in the tower. But if I'm coming here to work every day, it's a lot of time away from her, a lot of distance. And while people can look after her, that's a lot to assume. But Vellum spends some time in that room, sort of getting a sense of what the scale of the degradation is, considering thoughts before scribbling a few more notes down and returning back to Marash. Okay, so obviously there's some work that needs to be done to make this serviceable. I might need somebody to help manage the finances. I would need... God, I don't want to bother anyone else with it. I might need somebody for security, but that's it's a whole other thing.
I would be happy to help with this film. I can spread work. I can spread word quietly. You know, find commissions, bring the orders to you. You would work them from here, away from the noise. You'd keep most of the profit. I just make sure the right clients find you, of course. This is your space first. Everything else, we'd build it when you're ready.
Well, when it comes to taking on orders, I'm very particular about what I work with, so I'd need to know a lot of details from them.
Of
Maybe I have
course.
to make a list, or I'd either have to see them myself or make a list.
Very well.
How long do you think it would take to get this place up to snuff?
Well, the very basic bones of it, I could see being up within perhaps a month or two. Of course, if some of you were to provide your own funds, I could get it up quicker.
Oh, yeah, I was already planning on using my own funds. It's just a case of, right, so to cut down time, I want to prioritize this space, and he's going through, like, in a sort of, like, not mumbled sense, but, like, the train of thought is skipping everything in his brain and going straight out of it. Right, so this main workspace would be the priority. Anything that would be foundationally worrying needs to get dealt with. Something to make sure nothing caves in or falls apart while I'm working here, and maybe shore up that living space, make it nice and secure. As you said, nothing going in unless I say so.
Of course.
Everything else we can seal it off without worry and maybe think about it later.
Oh yes, I am
Just
not
need whatever I
expecting.
need to work.
Yes, I'm not expecting the whole thing to be done up in just a few weeks. If you need some place to work right now, I could probably get it done within the week.
Right, well, that would be good. I want to get to work after the Ring of Claws in an ideal world. Just let me know
course.
how much it'll run you and I'll comp it.
But of course, just to let you know, so you're not dealing with all the paperwork, all of the overhead, all of the hiring. I can funnel the basics of all of this to you. Give you a list of possible candidates, possible commissions. I can take care of the overhead, the hiring. I can take care of anything that is not directly benefiting your work.
Well, I would want to be checking the hires personally,
Of
especially when
course.
it comes to security.
Like I said,
I want to be sure I'm bringing on people I can at least trust for the short term.
Very much so. I can screen. I can screen potential candidates, funnel them over to you for a second round of screenings.
Sounds good. Just get the portfolios over to me when you can.
She gives you a nod. There is a hint of an excited creak of a smile to the corner of her lips.
Yeah, and for context's sake, like, she's probably seen hints of it now and again of Velum in his full mercantile state, but here, as he's been surveilling and running numbers in his head and making notes and estimations, he's taken on a very different persona to the sort of one that's very cautious and occasionally unsure. Like, everything is deliberate, everything is known in this headspace he's in.
She kind of approaches you for a moment, says, kind of following your eye line as you're wandering about the space here, making various notes. Kind of brushes a hand on your shoulder. You know, I like the sight of you, Venom. Very ambitious.
Huh? Oh, guess I'm slipping back into old habits.
Right, I
Please.
shall make a few. I shall note down a few names, contact a few people.
Sounds good. I'm gonna finish up my notes here. And if she does peek at all, it's gonna be like... she'll probably recognize numbers, but a lot of it is information.
Oh, yeah.
So, good luck to her on that one. But a lot of it is just like, he's filled about a page. By now it's all relatively neat handwriting. Though, you know, it's not elegant elegant symbolage, but it's still, you know, it's not sloppy.
All right.
Particular state. But yeah, and I think I'll read the paragraphs you sent me afterwards.
Yeah, gotcha.
But I think... Okay, so, nowhere in the setup. Not worried about the other sections. We got the highest established. She's getting back to me about pricing, the costs of everything. Oh yeah, I remember now. There was another one. As he's making his notes, getting to a certain point. Right. When it comes to the clients, as I mentioned, I normally like to meet them face to face, but how likely are they to make the trek?
Well, if they are wanting to pay this much for a hang on, what? So
He hasn't established what he's going to be making there, just that he is working on something. So just, you know, his works will do.
if they are wanting to pay this much for a Fajr original, then I'm certain they will make the check.
Alright, that works. It definitely helped the repute of it all if they saw me in action.
Plus, the isolated Smith routine very much generates an air of mystery. People love mystery, especially when they have a lot of money. It makes it feel exclusive.
Right, I think that might be everything then. I got everything I need from here for now, and whenever you can get back to me with those numbers and those names, we can go from there.
She claps her hands once. Wonderful. I shall head back to the house and I shall contact a few people.
I'll head back as well in a moment. Gonna take a look around a bit more.
Of course. And with that, she makes her way off. Not without stealing a glance from over her shoulder as she does. And a smile.
And as she does, Venom is gonna sort of mill around the main area with the quote-unquote skylight. Sort of basking in the sun for a moment, taking in the quiet of everything. The relative quiet of everything. It's still a jungle-adjacent settlement. But just sort of gazes up through the hole, bathing in the sunlight for a moment, and sort of a small silent prayer to Alsham for not so much success in this endeavor, but the smoothness of its progress. He's had enough trouble lately, and for something so seemingly simple as this, he's still tentative despite his mercantile state of being on these matters. But after about maybe like 5-10 minutes, he heads back to get back to work with Angus.
Alright. So, I would like to kind of pan over towards Dajar. We've not done anything with Dajar yet.
Alright.
Okay, so what's Dajar doing right now?
Well, she's gonna take care of the biggest issue, talking to Vorcha, getting more time.
Alright. Let's go ahead and pan you over to the Hunter's Keep.
Taking care of the hardest thing first.
That's what Thule said.
Boo.
You are banned, Buddhist man. Alright.
So, one second. Where's Hunter's Keep? More notes. Got too many notes. Here we go. So, the main hall of the keep is alive with motion, but not the kind you hear in the Seven Bazaar. This is a different kind of noise, measured, purposeful. Each voice answering to Karsha Shivar's steady command. New recruits stand shoulder to shoulder with scarred veterans, spears upright, the gleam of fresh steel catching the firelight. Kaja moves among them like a stalking panther, her golden eye swooping over every grip, every stance, the sharp thwack of her claw on a training spear carries as much weight as any shouted order. 2 weeks, she says, low but cutting, her golden eye kind of fixed on each hunter in turn. 2 weeks to strip the softness from your bones. You'll run until your legs give, climb until your hands bleed, and fight until you can't tell your own blood from your enemies. She paces before the assembled line, tail swaying in slow, measured arcs. We're diving into the Crucible Mountains, narrow passes, sheer drops, no room to run. When it is trapped, it will thrash and it will kill. That's when you earn your place, or you'll be remembered in bone and ink. And and without breaking a stride, she turns her gaze towards you as you enter. Grand hunters in the pits. Follow the noise.
Nods and just goes off. Find Vorka.
Alright. The noise itself isn't too hard to find. There's this kind of occasional rhythmic boom beneath your feet, growing heavier with each step down a side passage. The torchlight wavers, disturbed by the tremors, and by the time you've reached the stone archway, the steady quake in the walls becomes very apparent. Pits are vast. This arena cut deep into the keep's foundations, this subterranean arena. And at the very centre looms this enormous construct in the image of a tyrannosaur, wrought from ironwood, stone, plates of maroon and gold. Its eyes turn with spectral light. And meeting it alone is Vorka. This mountain of scarred muscle and sun-baked skin, shoulders draped in this cloak lined with black displacer beast fur and crowned by the skulls of predators. Its dreadlocks whip with each movement. Construct lunges, its stone jaws thudding shut where he stood a heartbeat before. Vorka's bare feet strike the ground with the impact of a charging beast as he pivots, dragging his massive golden-bladed spear in its wide arc. The blade bites into the construct's leg joint, and it retaliates in an instant. Tail sweeps low, Vorka meets it, one arm comes up, braced, and the blow that would send a lesser hunter flying only pushes him back a step. With a growl that's more animal than man, he plants his feet, shoves the tail upwards, using the momentum to vault onto its spine, and he runs the length of the construct's back, each stride hammering the ironwood plates beneath him. And at the base of the skull, he plants the spearhead deep into the neck joint, uses it as a haft, as a lever, kind of forcing the head down until the construct crashes to the ground. The pit shakes with the impact, sand leaping in clouds around him. The crowd of hunters above the ring let out this murmur, half awe, half disbelief. Vorka doesn't look at them. The construct twitches. Its tail lashes once before it forces itself back onto its feet, molten light flaring hotter in its eyes. Vorka rolls his shoulders, spear spinning into a ready grip again. He lets the construct still, the molten light in its eyes dimming as he pulls the spear free, as he declares to the rest of the hunters, "Says me nothing, if you're underground." He calls out to the ring above, "Break the stance, break the beast, joints, lungs, spine, flesh or stone, it's all the same. Hit until it forgets what it be, or you'll be the one mounted on someone else's wall." He slams the butt of his spear into the ground. The sharp crack. The crack sharp as a snapped bone, as he declares, "Back to drills. I want sweat in your eyes before sundown." The hunters file out under his watch, murmurs low, and then his gaze finds you. And he crosses the pit in a few long strides, bare feet whispering over the sand. The weight of his presence like an awaiting storm. "Ah, Snake Eyes! You come to train or just chat?"
Firstly, to chat, I'm still working on my thing. We head to your office.
Ah. You know, talking's best done in the ring. What you got to
If it
see?
must be. I have yet to contact my friend, the Grand Huntress. He's out somewhere, and I need to talk to another one. I'm seeing that if we can get to 5 more days. And everyone right now in my group is spread out thin. We need a little bit more time.
5 more days. You need 5 more
5.
days.
I don't know where else the Liska is at all right now. Could be gallivanting in the jungles for all I know. It might take time.
Okay, so this is going to require a persuasion check.
Alright.
And
Let me get
whatever
my-
you want to do to prepare for that, you can do so.
Let me see if my key can actually get up and not fucking lag. Christ, man. Taking forever. I don't know what's up with these new sheets.
You could
Oh,
just
there
hit
it
you
is.
could just hit E and bring up the sidebar if you like as well.
Yeah, I got it. You know what? I'm just gonna go and raw with this. I just roll the persuasion.
Oh,
Can I? Oh, fucking goddamn it.
well, okay.
He makes a very good argument. And can you?
Also,
put this in public?
you're also very quiet. I can't hear you.
Sorry. My microphone. I was facing my mic just a little bit away from it. Can you make that public? I don't know why my thing was.
I can't make it public either. But it was a natural 20. The plus 10, that makes it a total of 30.
Nice.
And how do you plead for this extended time? How do you think Dajar makes her case?
Besides what you already said before, other than supplies, seeing what after the Ring of Claws, what decision of who will come, who will not, of my group, and go from there. I just need those 5 days. 5 at worst, 3 at best, but 5. No more, no less.
His eyes slim for a moment as he thinks to himself, deep in thought, as he approaches a nearby training dummy. Makes a series of moves, a series of spear thrusts, parries, attempting to practice a few swings. You gather he seems more focused, clearer in thought when he's in the midst of combat.
Sound like someone I know.
The way he moves, it's less refined than what you've seen Liska do. Less refined and drilled techniques and more improvised moves. It moves more akin to a wild man than anything. There's less refined, less refinement of civilized warfare in him. You can definitely tell that. As he stops for a moment, he pauses. Something tell me you're gonna need more than 5 days.
I was really lowballing myself. Be honest, we're probably gonna be in another week. I didn't really want to say this outright.
I've really got to turn you up, Black Spice. I can barely hear you.
It's weird. I'm talking loud normally.
Hang on. Let me adjust a few settings here. Okay. trying out? There we
When
go.
speaking loud.
There we go.
Alright.
I was it was on my end. Okay. So you said something about needing what?
I was saying, I loadballed myself for 5 days. I need another week.
You know you got a silver tongue for a bookwalker.
Comes with the territory.
Alright, I give you the time. A whole week if you need it. But then the hunt starts. Then there will be no turning back, you hear? You finish it or it finish us.
Yeah.
3 weeks. You got 3 weeks in total.
Fair enough. Thank you.
Alright.
Just before she leaves.
Something on your mind, Snake Eyes?
Yeah, just. This is something personal, but where exactly is a gambling house?
Gambling house. Don't know why I went Scottish there for a second. You know, I never actually thought about that. Give me a second.
Any house can be a gambling house if you know how to party.
Closest gambling house. That'd be the Horns of Fortune. You'll find it in the Serpent Bazaar. Just watch your wallet.
Excellent.
Watch your coin purse.
I'm not going there anytime soon. I just need to know so I can, over these 3 weeks, prepare. You know, have a little fun before going against that. You catch my drift.
There's a grunt
Anyway.
from him.
Anyway, I'll let you guys get back to training. I still have other things to do.
Alright.
And he salutes and goes off.
Okay. So, what else did you have planned, Dejar?
Going to the Obsidian Spire to get those two language books that can be
Okay.
done in the they can be done later after unless it's like an actual scene.
Oh,
They can
I
be
mean,
done
you
later.
can literally just buy them from the vendors tab. Those would be easy to find, especially the one on the Tahosian language. You'll be able to find. Give me a sec here. Vendors, Tech Tahos, and here we go. Couple of books you are directed to. Tongues of Stone, a Dwarf's Primer for the Dwarven language. Words of the Sun, a Tahosian primer for the Tahosian language.
Okay then, so I can definitely grab those up. I'm gonna be heading to Ida, but I'm heading to Ida's to talk to her. I'm going to do a sending to Liska.
Okay. So it's still kind of mid-afternoon here. I'd imagine, just to prevent any awkwardness, I don't think
Oh, yeah, no.
this be
Liska's gonna
late in
answer
the
out of
evening.
breath. What's going on?
Yeah, this will
Sorry,
it's not night time yet, so that hasn't happened. Not yet.
Not yet. No, but Dijar would definitely send a 25 thing to Liska. Liska, stay away from the Crucible Mountains. Krosa's corpse has made its home there. Involves the whole Hunter's Keep. Negotiated more time, is what he will say.
Let's go. We'll respond with. Oh, hey, Dijar. Stay away from the Crucible Mountains. Sounds good. I don't know where those are though, so I'll keep an eye out. That's 25 words exactly.
Nice.
There we go.
And let's go over to Ida, because I
Okay.
have questions.
All right. You will find Ida within the Veiled Ziggurat.
Oh God, the shiny lights.
You are eventually directed towards Ida's own room. Looks like she does have a number of kind of books, spell scrolls, and other research notes kind of gathered in this large arcing desk within her diplomatic chamber. This is clearly the one of the rooms meant for foreign dignitaries and other such high esteemed nobles from foreign lands. Oh, Dijar.
Yes. I've come seeking knowledge on two rather interesting subjects. One is spell crafting, though the other one is more niche. How would you, if you had this opportunity, to teach someone like Vladimir, whose magic is interesting?
All right. She possesses magic in a somewhat sorcerous manner, the way I'd say it. But you're trying to teach her as someone who learns from books. Is that what I'm discerning? You're having trouble trying to meet the same criteria.
Yes, when our first attempt on trying to teach her to levitate didn't go so well. She was definitely sore about it. I just chalked it up that I didn't know how to teach her. It wasn't really her fault, and so I let her, I cast fly on her and cheered it up. But that just left me thinking, ow.
Yes, the way I see it, it seems her magic is more innate. Am I correct?
Yes.
Yes, that's a dance with two left feet if you're not careful. Sorcery is instinct, not study. Vladimir won't respond to rote recitation and copywork the same way an apprentice of the quill would, like yourself and I. Follow me one moment. She kind of leads you out of the oh, no, not out, but she kind of leads you to one side of the room and draws with her two fingers this outline of a door across the wall and opens it up into this familiar-looking chamber that you've once been in before. Let me load up the map. As you enter her magnificent mansion.
Also, Vellum is here apparently, according to the map.
Yeah, hang on. Let me get rid of this. So there's a bunch of stuff that's not here.
Man, it's been a while since this came up, so it's probably from way the fuck back. Man.
Oh yes. Let me go ahead and drag you guys onto the map as well. One second. Oh god, this is really laggy.
We love updates and old maps.
Oh man,
It's all
3D
these
view.
lighting effects, I think.
Could also be the 3D view.
Oh, okay.
That too.
Hang on. So, as you make your way into Ida's magnificent mansion, styled in the same style as her archive, her library back in the Maroon Palace in Ambrosia on Ragnarok. She moves to a tall shelf as you kind of both get yourself seated in this octagonal sunken lounge. Selecting this crystal-bound tome etched with constellations. In the Dominion of Indulgence, I mentor a pair of sorceresses, Ezria Ulpatricia and Zelthia Alpatricia. Lovers famous for more than just their beauty. They share a bond that makes their magic flow as one. Ignacio Algans, the so-called Lord of Ecstasy, keeps them close, but their real power isn't in his court, it's in what they are. She opens the tome to an illustration of shimmering silver-blue expanses without horizon or floor. They were both born with a rare connection through the cosmic Ethereum. It is a realm of pure unshaped magic. No incantations, no sigils. Only will, emotion, and the ability to channel the raw currents without burning themselves away. Patricia herself, the Patricia, was one of the first mortals to wield such a gift before them. And in all of Ragnarok's history, you could count such sorcerers on one hand. When I teach them, I don't hand them spells to memorize. I give them experiences, sounds, scents, sights that stir the magic in their blood. I set challenges they can't resolve with brute force, so they must reach deeper. I'll ask her, what does this spell feel like? What color is it in your mind? They learn to recognize the magic, the way your eye know the smell of rain before it falls. Most importantly, quiet solace, a place away from the hustle and bustle of the city, helps immensely. And as you know, a few months ago I came into recent ownership of a manor in the Cintalian forest. I'm sure you recall that harrowing experience. That was when we first met.
Okay.
As it turns
That
out,
manner,
okay.
Joy just says that manner. That,
Yes, you definitely recall that. It turns out that once it was refurbished, though, it was perfect for our needs. A place of quiet solitude, when we can practice in peace. I say all this because Vardmir will need all of that. She may never sit down to write a spellbook, but you can still guide her to discover her own lexicon. Let her show you that the shapes her magic takes. Then help her refine them. You're not giving her new spells, Dashar. You're helping her remember the ones her soul already knows.
okay. This is eye-opening.
I can teach you how to do this, if you're up for it.
That would help immensely, honestly.
It will take a few hours.
Okay.
Alright. So, to keep this brief, she begins the lesson in the lower gallery here, where the shelves climb 3 stories high behind these sort of latticed panels. A ladder glides along its rails of its own accord, bringing down books that seem to have chosen themselves. You kind of watch as Ida lays them on the desk, polished to a mirror sheen. Tomes on sensory magic, emotional channeling, the lore of the cosmic Ethereum, flipping them open to hand-linked diagrams of energy flows, shaped not by arcane formulae, but the caster's mood and breath. The hours become a circuit of the library's many tiers. In the upper rotunda, beneath a dome of stained glass blazing with pink and violet blooms, Ida sets out elemental bowls, kind of water swirling with tiny runic fish, sand that hums when disturbed, petals that release sparks when crushed. She demonstrates how an inner caster can anchor a spell in the sensory touchstone, drawing from instinct instead of intellect. You move through a stairwell lit by faceted crystal sconces to a quiet alcove where the walls are nothing but books and stained glass. Here, she conjures a curtain of magic that ripples between chambers, one filled with the sound of rainfall, one drenched in deep crimson light, one vibrating with a chorus of unseen voices, explaining that the role of immersion has its place here, sort of placing a sorcerer in a state where the magic inside them responds naturally without conscious command. In the grand central hall, she opens a stained glass, a glass-walled projection chamber, and within she broadcasts this image of the cosmic Ethereum swirling as a boundless ocean of crystals, of crystal light, and starlight. She kind of shows you how to swim in the currents, not by reshaping them, but by sensing their rhythm, leaning into the pull, letting them carry you towards the shape the magic wants to take. And by the time you reach the private study, this circular space wrapped in bookshelves and furniture with a low velvet draped lounge, the light through the stained glass has shifted, casting the room in this sort of wine-red shadow. And she leaves you surrounded by these scattered notes, chalk sigils, drifting motes of unclaimed magic. The lesson she's giving you is not this rigid formula. It's to give you the feeling of a current, the scent of the rain before it falls, the taste of lightning on the tongue. And effectively, the primary lesson here to take away is don't try to make Vardmir learn magic like a wizard. Instead, Give her experiences that make her magic react. Put her in situations that stir emotion. Sharpen her senses, or immerse her in sights, sounds, scents, and textures that spark a natural response. And then,
As
go ahead.
As Ida is saying this, we're teaching lessons when we almost almost to a close. That has like two raising questions that pop into our mind. Having a connection to the cosmic Ethereum, is that rare?
Oh, that is quite rare, Dajath.
Like, she just does her own magic. Like, this is natural to me. Are you saying this here, as she's pointing to her arm encased in like bismuth crystal? Not any normal mage can attain this. This is just, you're born with this.
Yes, I did notice that at first when we first met. You were attempting to open a door with that, if I recall.
Not
In the manor.
Yes.
I found that very intriguing. You see, those that are connected to the cosmic Ethereum in this way, every so often, once in every decade or so, perhaps decades, multiple, one among many spellcasters will be innately born with this magic. And for that they are called often the Ley Blessed. Individuals who are infused with astral magic throughout through their profound connection to the ley lines. It's a rare blessing that can occur either by being born underneath the alignment of the Matron's Hand constellation, or through significant life events that awaken this latent potential later in life. The probability of this being ley blessed at birth during an alignment of the Matron's Hand is approximately only a few in 100, perhaps 1 in 100. While the chances of this infusement emerging later in life is about 1 in 1,000.
Doesn't feel like that, honestly. Comparison to what I've been doing, it feels more like a burden than a blessing.
See,
That's what, at least
that's the thing, Dajar. I believe I've been suspicious of this for quite some time. But I believe there is something within you that does have a connection to the cosmic Ethereum. But I don't believe you fully unlocked its purpose yet. Its true nature, its full potential. There is something deep within you that is locked away. I don't know what it will take to bring that to the surface. That is up to you to discover by yourself.
Leads up to the second question. The ley blessed are those who have been blessed with such immense power. I've only had tried researching about these individuals. It's very scant information, like they're purposely hidden or they hide themselves entirely. they're ghosts among society.
Many often
And-
do. There are those who would seek to use the powers of the Ley Blessed, either forcefully or coercively, for their own means. The blood of a Ley Blessed individual is quite a, how would you put it, a rare commodity.
Okay then, few things. More questions, but okay. How about this spell crafting?
Spellcrafting. What would you wish to know?
How does one start making a spell?
Well, you've been shaping magic for, I would assume, more than a decade of your life.
Yes, but it's just either finding the two scrolls or ones I've constantly memorized through my book, not just make up a new one.
Well, that's the thing. You have mastered spells most wizards will never touch. Wrestled with forces that would break even lesser minds. You're certainly not an apprentice anymore, Deshar.
Apprentice I may not be, but there's still... The more I learn, the more that I learn that I know nothing. You can understand that.
And those are words of wisdom to live by, Deshar. No, to be truthful, no wizard is ever... No wizard officially ever stops becoming an apprentice. They're constantly learning more about the magic they're capable of. Things that they're willing to create, things that they are capable of creating. And I would suspect you're ready to create something the world has never seen.
There's a pensiveness on her face. Like he's bursting to say something, but she's weighing her words. I've been dabbling with certain concepts. Don't know how to do it effectively.
I was in your position. This is all too familiar. You already have the skill. What you need now is time, space, and the right materials. The bones of creation. Give them breath, and they'll live as your own spell. I can also teach you, but we'll be getting into the rest of the day here.
Okay.
So, would you wish to proceed with this?
He's good. What time of day does it feel like right now?
I mean, if you kind of go outside the front door and kind of glance, it's getting into evening at this point.
There's a tug of war. I'll have to hold off until tomorrow.
Very well. You know where to find me. I should be
And
happy to walk you through the process.
right. Sometimes it's best to sit down the pen and just process what you know. Tomorrow will be a new day and a new lesson.
Alright. So, as you head out back into Tectaros proper. Is there anything you wish to do, or shall we hand back over to Atlas? Angus.
And she's heading back to Rosalind's guest house, so yeah, you can go do that.
Alright. So it's come to afternoon at this point. Yeah, we'll say wibbly wobbly time around me, unless you wish to meet with Tajar. Then we can kind of skip ahead to evening.
I have nothing specific. Excuse me.
We could do the crafting scene between Angus and Vellum, if that's what you wish to do.
You know, that was an end of the day thing, right?
I think so.
I'd be down for that if you were.
Sure. I have. Was there anything specific that you had to do before? You know, we did that. Anything
Yeah,
to
it was
wrap
just
up with
the
the
Rasmus,
Rasmus, or just-
the Varesh stuff. That was really it. All Vellum's doing lately is working all day, so. Nothing else he needs to do in the day.
Right.
All right.
Hog.
Yeah, it works for me. Let's see. So, I guess it's towards the end of the day. He's finished with his break, and he's decided to resume crafting on the shield enchantment.
Yeah. So Vellum's been in the supporting role since Angus is the premier runesmith at the moment, and while Angus has in the past tried to reinforce Vellum's confidence about his own runecraft, he's still rather assist Angus in whatever measures he can. Not to say he's just, in a lesser role, just now you got me yawning now. Yeah, Angus is the lead, and Vellum is very watchful on what he does in particular this time. Like throughout the day, he's been doing his help, but he's been more focused than other times they've worked together.
Bro's kind of locked in.
Yeah, he took what Angus said not long ago seriously.
I'm back.
Pretty
I
good.
got a snack.
Welcome back.
All the way.
Snack time indeed. It was just about to be. It was the ending of the night, where Angus was just about to finish wrapping up crafting a magic item and then prepare dinner. So, I suppose as you come back onto the estate, you see his tower and the familiar glow with it. But from within, you see a rainbow radiant type light, telltale of that giant laystone he has. And with your sharp ears, you can probably hear, the little ding as he strikes his little metal tuning fork. The as he's trying to find the right tone to match it.
Alright. You watch as the laystone begins to shimmer this faint light. You begin to hear that same ooh tone that you've heard before. Managed to make a tuning fork to replicate that exact tone. You start hearing a faint boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom. Very, very faintly. Audible only to you.
As Angus locks into this type of work, and he's trying to find this particular tone, he's completely lost to the fact that you've even returned to the estate. So, as you arrive, it's a complete surprise to him as he kind of instantly loses that tone to, oh! And the little glowing stops.
Ah, shit, I'm
Vellum.
sorry, Angus. I came back to help you, and, well, seems I might have taken too long.
He kind of peeks his head outside to the dusk. The workday's about over, lad, actually. There's the finishing touches, though, if you as he kind of gestures palm up to come inside the workshop of the tower.
Vellum follows in and is specifically looking like I don't know if Vellum's been around to see Angus use the Laystone in this particular way, but his attention is immediately like trying to seek out what is causing all those odd noises and the lights and such.
This is brand new to him, actually, because this is something that was discovered while they were in Benzala's temple city. He has yet to be able to really do any of this since. It's the final day where he has to use this and truly imbue the magic. He'll kind of catch you looking and, oh, you're looking at my pride and joy? As he taps the giant crystal.
I was wondering what you were going to be doing with that. It's a bit different than what a normal rune crafting, right?
A bit, perhaps. You can do quite a bit extra once you have one of these proper laystones. And something of this size. Oh, it can do it proper, all right.
It's not going to blow up or anything, is it?
I don't know.
Just take a little step back from it.
Here, let's try the... He takes his tuning fork and kind of taps it against the thing.
Again,
Nope, didn't blow up yet.
you feel that resonating hum ripple throughout the entire Laystone, as if it, weirdly enough, as if it's responding.
See, lad? It's nothing worried about or too strange. It's just a breathing rock. Here, you give it a try. And he holds the tuning fork out.
Question: When well, he takes it. When Angus did that, what kind of tone was the fork emanating? Was it like a higher tone or a lower tone?
It was like a sort of
Okay, so like a higher tone,
yeah.
not a lower.
Which is very coincidental because you see Angus struggling, remembering the choirs back in, in the capital when they first learned this.
Those good old
he's-
choirs.
Oh, as he tries this like low kind of tone that the rest of the choir had. Even with the tuning fork, it seems he's tone deaf and struggling. Truly, the bagpipes are the instrument for him.
So, does because obviously this is all new development, does the tuning fork have any effect on the Laystone when it is struck, or is Angus using the tuning fork to try and match the pitch with his own voice?
Oh, the tuning fork is the entire reason it's glowing. Angus hasn't been able to make it very well. But whenever
Right,
he
okay, I
strikes
see
the
now.
tuning fork, it's the exact frequency.
And then he's trying to match that frequency with his choiric rumblings. Okay, I'm with you now. Willem will sort of try and imitate what Angus was doing with the tuning fork. Just ding!
As it reverberates through the Laystone, you can feel that reverberation through the tuning fork itself, and you watch as ripples of sound begin to reverberate through the Laystone itself in the form of these prismatic sort of iridescent waves of opalescent light, and it gradually lights up the forge for a moment, and then you begin to hear it as well. Boom, 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 boom. This slow, steady, repetitive beat.
Huh. That's new.
Oh, what's that? You hear the drumming too in your heart, don't you?
Yeah, it's weird. Don't know if I like it, but I'm just saying this
is
helps.
the heartbeat of magic. It's the very soul of the world itself, they say. The ley lines, these crystals, they're not but the veins and blood that flow through the soil and mantle. Some even reach up into the sky. That is what gives the world magic. And when you are literally in tune with it, its heart beats along yours. Bet you wish you were a wizard now.
I think I'm fine with what I got, but that beat. I don't know.
Suit yourself.
So you can't seem to get this working? I mean, the fork is what you needed, right? Why the singing?
The singing helps. Plus, I want to get better at it myself. The fork will work, but it's nice to do the song. You know.
Yeah. Bit of Zerth rubbing off on you, eh?
Well, no. More of, why have it store-bought when you can have it handmade? Right? And you can see him sort of look to the old blacksmith tools that he has on his workshop shelf. Not the nice greenbane ones he let you have, but the very oldest, the first pair, which is clearly handmade tools.
So
Understand what I mean, lad?
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I mean, big part of why I'd trust my own stuff over getting something someone else made. But it doesn't seem like you're having much success with it. Is it important to finish the thing?
I could do it with just a fork. I probably will in the end. But damned if I don't want to try myself. How else will I get better?
Yeah, just give him practice in, I get that.
It's not like it won't hurt nothing either.
Well, lovely. Right, shall we finish this up then? I think you probably want to get back to the stove.
Oh yeah, let's see. Alright, lad. Let's finish this bit up. Here. Grab the tongs. Hold the rune there. I'm gonna sit
then.
in the dust now.
Right, and Vellum actually like holds his breath out of almost habitual reflex. You get the sense like maybe he does this whenever he's attempted it in the past or with any sort of dusts.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he's trying not to breathe it in.
Yeah, or out. It's just like one big sigh and the whole thing goes fucked up.
Ah. There it goes.
Alright, how do you
Okay.
describe finishing this off?
So, in a little bit of a humble moment that perhaps might strike Vellum to maybe first learning to blacksmith, where the lead artisan would move the ingot and strike with their light hammer to tell you where to bring down the sledge. So does he carefully move about this rune and align it so you may put in the dust with your more steady hands. You know? And they'll kind of go back and forth with that. Every once in a while, give it a little shake, make sure things are even. A dousing of some type of magic oil or ointment, some finishing product here, a little bit of a chant, and then a channel of magic into the end. And at the very end of it, the slightest pinch of what seems to be this iron type of dust. Something that tends to almost clump together. Magnetic filings. And with that, it finishes the enchantment. Ready for the arrow catching rune shield.
Hell yeah.
A magnificent enchantment, artisan crafted.
There. Good work
Well,
there,
no.
steady fingers.
Finally exhales.
Well, I don't know the craft as well as you do, but I'd say that's some fine work.
Oh. Well, thank you. And I bet you could be quite good at the craft yourself if you spent more time with it. Though, and much the way you've chosen your smithing first, so have I chosen my cooking. So we can
got
both be
specialties.
second best.
We got our specialties, but, you know, I've thought a lot about our last rune crafting conversation. About
Hey?
seeing how it channels in my own way and making sense of it that way. I haven't done anything practical yet. I've had a few too many projects, but I've been making plans and doing some study.
Good. Make your plans, do your study. You will be fine, lad.
Well, I know I'm going to be fine in the Ring of Claws.
When then he hefts the shield up a little bit. Like, it's almost like he's testing the weight of it as if anything tangible had been added, but it's clearly a reflex.
And with this, it'll be a little easier to stay out of trouble. Especially if I need to pull anyone's arse out of the forge.
I'm sure it'll be fine, lad.
Oh, I'm sure, but
I'm sure.
pays to be safe.
Oh, true. Always true. Right then. I should probably start on dinner now that we got the crafts done.
Yep. Always good to end a project off with a good meal.
Question,
Agree.
Atlas. May I inquire as to how Angus has been throughout the course of this workday? Has he been same as normal? Has he been focused on other things? Because obviously, he was working on that resonance thing when he arrived. But like, I want to get a sense of where Angus is at. 'Cause he's been a little all over the place.
He's been what? I'm sorry?
He's been a little not all. Well, I was about to say all over the place, but like he seems worried. I'll say.
Seems worried.
Yeah, Angus seems worried to Vellum, so like Vellum is keeping an eye on how he's been throughout the workday. So has he been okay? Has Angus been? Has anything been different about the work?
It seems he's definitely more almost fidgety or a little anxious about something. There's something that he's clearly thinking about and trying not to talk about. Over the course of time together, you know that Angus very much puts on a bright, happy, nonchalant face. He tries to be that sort of source of joy, and he hasn't talked much about his woes. However, he has a face right now that is similar to the expressions the first time he made a hero's feast in the morning.
Immense pride.
Nope.
Elaborate for me, because my memory is dog shit.
That's the one where he came to realize both of his parents had passed away because they came to make the meal. It seems he's very contemplative about something, potentially loss.
With that in mind,
The
and
switch
as-
seemed to happen after talking to Ida.
Right. I don't know if Venom's about, maybe that happened, but regardless, he sort of like compiles everything, because now the job's done, he's not focused on it. He's compiled everything that he's observed of Angus throughout the workday. And just as Angus is about to sort of head off, Velum will put a hand on his shoulder.
Hold up a sec, Angus. I know Dwarven pride, and maybe you don't want to worry folk, but I'm usually good at telling when something's up.
Oh, well, no, it's fine, lad. Don't worry about it, honestly.
Well, you know when you say that to people, they're just gonna worry more.
I don't even need a roll for that. My passive can handle that.
Oh, when have I ever given you anything to worry about?
There's just a deadpan look.
Yeah, Angus, I also know when people are full of shit. So, come on, we can talk over while I help you cook. Like you say, it's not good to keep these things in.
Alright, lad. You won me over. Get your apron.
We'll make our way into the kitchen, but sort of... I was a bit mindful of like who's around at the moment, because this seems like a relatively personal topic, so he wants to make sure like nobody's lurking around the kitchen or anything like that before even initiating the
it is your
conversation.
guest house kitchen. You're the only ones here.
Oh yeah, I'm just stating for narrative's sake. And so people don't suddenly be like, hello, this character is here now.
Yeah.
Say anything. But yes, Velum gets an apron on from whatever hooks are nearby and starts helping with basics like getting all the necessary tools out and I was about to say appliances, but whatever.
Right, so obviously you don't have to share anything, you're not alright sharing, but let's get it off your chest.
Oh, it's not that I don't have anything I'm not alright sharing. That's not the thing. How do I say this, lad? Coming to realize something that I don't like, but I have to admit it's true. I talked some with Ida about magics that can affect someone's mind. I've talked quite a bit with many people back in my kingdom. I've been messaging them for time and time again. Even Tora. It's not looking good, lad. The whole of the kingdom. It's... My people are struggling. I don't know how to say this. I don't know if my king is my king anymore.
That silence is purposeful. I'm not just blanking you. Velum sort of takes it all in. He doesn't.
Kind of
rush to any
sets the
snap
knife down,
response.
both hands on the side of a cutting board as he's just stuck on that.
There's a lot going on back home. I don't even know the full scope of it like you do, but I can tell that much. The king. I know how difficult it is for you to accept that kind of news, that he might not be who he was. You gave an oath after all, you were Mountain Guard, and that's a big deal. That changes the way you see things. So what did Ida say that made you so sure?
Wait, was it Eden? Sorry, my brain.
Yes.
Okay. Just had to clarify before I did stupid.
We went over various schools of magic. Things that would change somebody's mind. Or compel them. Control them, even. From ideas of suggestions that come your way, or even dominating a person's will. But something to be so different. It didn't seem to fit quite right. And he kind of, his hands on the flat of the countertop curl into fists. And there was something that was brought up that made me feel sick. I heard stories. Miners' tales. Bits from those that fought when the capital was sieged. Legends of these weird, beaked-like creatures that can eat someone's mind. A whole tale of miners who've spent far too deep under the fumes with not enough air or drink to them to clear their mind. Lost seeing shapes in the dark, I'm sure of it, but still.
No, Angus, it's not just stories.
Stop. So you stop and actually turns to finally face you.
I can't remember how much detail we went into at the time, or even since, but there was a time back in Doom Hollow. We were on an expedition. I believe it was to find Tora, but there's a lot of other things that happened too. Those things you talked about, they were down there in the deepest part we could reach. We had to go down a long way. But what you're describing was there, and we had to deal with them, and honestly, Angus, we were out of our depth for a lot of it. By the end of it, it turned out that they were being controlled themselves by this bastard that keeps bumping into us. A very long story short. By the time it was all done, by the time they were released from control, we were worn down. We were escorting precious cargo, and at that, like, escorting precious cargo, you can assume, you know, the people we were sent to rescue. And, well, I'm sure a few of us wanted to clear them all out because they looked wrong. They said they'd stay down there, but they clearly didn't. I thought about it since I even guessed that maybe they'd go back on their word and come on up. Thought it might have been our fault for not doing anything, but we couldn't have. I mean, some powerful, horrible, squiddy things, and all using magic, and we were outnumbered and outmatched, so we just took the win and left.
I suppose what could you have done in that situation? But none came up?
Well-
You said you had to go deeper. And how could have something happened to the king?
Well, the only thing I can figure is they came up for some reason. I mean, at the time, it seemed like they just wanted to be left alone. Hell, they were butting heads with the deeper dwarves down there, them wrong-uns. Or were they? It was a whole mess and a very long time ago. Point is, they'd been through a lot, and it didn't make sense that they would come up and cause trouble. And they had layers of other things to go through to get to you. So we just figured it buried. But for some reason, at least one of them's come up and
He sort of pinches the brow and the bridge of his nose a bit.
Mm-hmm.
has caused trouble.
Doing the same thing. So it seems it has.
No, I
Normally,
don't.
wouldn't that kill somebody? All the things I know of are stories of some terrible monster cracking your skull, leaving it empty.
Well, that's the weird thing. If what they're doing doesn't make sense for what we saw. They don't do big moves. Everything we saw was subtle and isolated. So
This
for them
is
to
it
come
subtle,
up,
lad.
I know that's why it's weird. And I don't know enough about these things to know any better. But I gotta figure that to control a nation like this, you need to control the person. And I don't think you do that by eating them. I can't be sure. Maybe it's magic so powerful that your king's not there anymore. Maybe it's possible to get him back. I don't know. But at the end of the day, Angus, right now, the king isn't on the throne.
And he looks back down to the cutting board, and he kind of slumps his shoulders a bit. I know he's not. And I don't even know if that's really him anymore. She mentioned how they have these thralls or minions. The things that can eat the very essence of who you were and puppet you about. She said it's like one moment you're talking to your loved one, they get dizzy and stumble, and they're back seemingly fine. In reality, they're gone. A old puppet. He shudders after lingering on that thought.
I know this isn't something you're gonna want to hear, Angus. But like I said, the king isn't on the throne, and as harsh as it sounds, until you know more or things change, or maybe a miracle happens, you have to treat him as good as dead, and go with the next in line. They're the one who needs your fealty now.
And he sort of, as you say that, rests his hands between his collarbone where he has a little necklace on the same chain where he keeps that ring he's yet to be able to wear. And there's also that small little carved hammer. I know, lad. I've already been following through on that. Tora, the princess, has been telling me what has been happening through letters, communications. We just made new guards to go protect the mines from these deep things, and they disappeared and never came back. Smiths are now regulated and can't practice any sort of weapon craft unless it's for the estate. And now the state doesn't even have mountain guards. They have black guards.
Well, they can call them what they like. They pale in comparison to the real thing.
And he goes to sort of he would normally give like a bit of a pat on, like a firm pat on the shoulder, but he sort of stops and it turns into a more gentle sort of hand on the shoulder.
You serve the kingdom and the crown, and right now, the crown sits on Tora's head, and the kingdom has its troubles.
I suppose so. He kind of turns away and he sort of scratches his eyes a bit with the back of his hand. Been a while since I've cut onions.
I give you some advice.
Hey?
Lets out a heavy sigh, almost like sort of steeling himself for what he's about to say.
When in the Morbog in Mortone, when Morthax had me, first, God, I don't even know if it was days or hours, but at first I kept thinking about tomorrow, about what I needed to do to get free or plan or anything I needed to do to get out of there. And then those plans changed. They became worries of if I would be the same person tomorrow, if there would be less of me tomorrow, if anything would be missing tomorrow. And eventually, it became harder to think about tomorrow. It became too painful.
He closes his eyes and shakes his head a little bit before continuing.
I started to learn that when times are the hardest, tomorrow means nothing, because you don't know what's going to happen. Anything can happen tomorrow. And as certain as the sun rises, that's the only certainty you get. But today, I could think about today, I could plan for today, I could live through today. And as long as I could hold on to myself by the end of the day, then tomorrow would come, and I would handle that today as well. Take care of today, Angus. You don't know everything going on at home, you don't know everything going on with the king. But go through enough todays, and you'll find out eventually. and you'll be stronger when you get there.
I feel like I've been caught in the loop of today's. That I'm so focused on just what am I gonna craft today? What am I gonna do today? What's our adventure? What will I cook? How am I gonna smile? That I'm so caught up trying to hide from the truth by burying myself in this moment, never taking the steps forward I need to actually solve it. He kind of looks up a little bit. I've been talking with Tora and Brasheim, many of the merchants. They've begun to release the goblins out of the jails. And they're killing people in the old mountain guards that have been disarmed. There's very few left that still wear the same coat of plates I do. I feel like if I had been there, then maybe there would be more lives left. I can't change the past and the travels I've had, and I'm glad I was with you to travel through it all. But once the Ring of Claws is up, I need to go help my home. While there's still something of it left to go back to.
I understand. It's been a hard road. For some of us more than others, but we've all struggled and dealt with it as it came, but I get the feeling that better if you do what you need to. I will say though, Angus, you cannot blame yourself for leaving. If you were there, you would have known as little or as less as you do now. You would have sensed the king was odd, but not done anything about it because, well, none of the others knew. And then you would have been in the same position all of those others were. Confused, lost, and maybe even dead. But now, because you were away, because you know more than you did, you can do something about it.
Aye, right. As he kind of nods his head. It's why I have to do something about it.
There's something, one of the many annoying things my grandfather used to try and drill into me. Anecdotes, advice, tactical analyses. But there's one thing that actually managed to stick. One of a very few.
Darkness?
Not quite. He said once, on the battlefield and off, there is a time for hiding and a time for fighting. And you may be getting ready to fight, Angus, but these todays you've been going through, these looped moments, these hiding of the struggles, you haven't been fighting. You've been doing your best to just keep going, and those tomorrows only get better when you fight. Just like I fought in Morthholm, and just like I know you'll fight when the time comes. But before you even lift a weapon, or march onto a field, you need to stop hiding your worries and your feelings. You need to face them, cope with them, and overcome them. It's not easy, I know that much. And I can't even compare what I went through to what you are going through. But these days, Angus, they are times to fight, not to hide.
He has a unsteady sort of tremble about him. If I don't hide those fears, if I don't hide away those sorrows, then what of you? Everyone deserves a happy place at the end of the day, a warm meal, a cozy bed, hell, safe walls.
There's a momentary
if I let myself be sad,
There's a
if
momentary.
I'm honest, and he kind of
Sorry,
pauses.
I keep trying to find the good window and then I say it in latency
go
of a
ahead.
bitch.
Go ahead.
At the notion of what of you and the continuance of that, there's like a small confused look from Velen, like a tilt of the head.
Angus, you've done a lot. And that's not just me flattering you or pointing out the obvious, but everything you've done. You've given my daughter a safe place to be while she makes through her own struggles. You've given us a place where we don't have to do shifts and keep watch and worry for knives against our backs. You've fed us probably the best food we've ever eaten or will ever eat. But the place at the end of the day, the table we all eat at, for everyone to be happy at it, you have to be happy as well. You have to not have the sadness and fear, and hard as that may be, it don't go away unless you face it. Because it's a part of you, but it's just as much an enemy as anything we face out there. If you keep hiding it, it will just gather its strength. If you don't meet it on the field of battle, its numbers will not thin. You need to face them so that you can be rid of them. Because when the time comes and you march on the capital, or take the crown back for Tora, or even maybe save the king if he's still in there, that fear and sadness and sorrow and festering doubt is gonna hold you back. And they are going to take advantage of it.
How could I ever show that to someone I care about? How am I supposed to be worth something, to be someone, if I have these common woes? It's such a trivial thing. I
Angus-
should be better
Angus,
than this.
Your kingdom in peril is not a little woe. And as for your value and worth, think about this. When I was struggling after Morthome, when I didn't know what to do with myself, when I jumped at every shadow and woke up every night, sweating and terrified, was I any less of a man in your eyes?
No. No, of course
And
not.
silence yourself otherwise, because you are not less of a person in my eyes, nor of anyone else in this group, I'd wager. You have done some amazing things, and for you to show...
Unless because I haven't done what you have. Because I can't do that. And I should be able to. I look at you and you shine. You don't have to study books to be blessed. You just are who you are. Heroics follow you wherever you go. I know there's effort, but damn you, make it look like it's just breathing to you. You've saved children. You've saved my kingdom. You've gone about and you've defeated a terrible black dragon twice and survived something that would have broken me. And here you are trying to build me up.
I don't
You
need to...
are the kind of people that I want to be.
Angus, yeah. You have your moments, but this is not one of them for smarts. You don't get it. You have been that person. I have only been able to be what I am because I knew you were there. The reason I held out for so long in Morthome is not just because everyone was coming for me. You were part of the group that I knew was coming. You have the kind of power and stubbornness that a dwarf can only have. And I knew with you having the back of everyone else, or even leading the charge, I knew I would be alright. As dark as things got, when I thought you were all dead, there was something there. And you think so little of yourself in this moment, but know that how we see ourselves is always wrong. Whether we think ourselves too highly or too lowly, or even if we think we're nothing at all, think about how we see you. Go to each of us if you have to, just even if it's through just striking conversation. Find out what we think of you. And see that as the truth. Because right now, I know you can fight this sadness. I know you can fight this creeping terror that is working its way through you and changing how you are. I noticed it. And I'll admit I am good at noticing these things, but in time, well, I figure even absent-minded Deja would notice. And we'd all worry. And those meals you give us would feel a little more bitter for it. Because again, for everyone at that table to be happy, you've got to be as well.
He kind of looks at you with tear wells kind of full in his eyes. He kind of has a mix of shock and disbelief in his face, but also trying to restrain himself a bit. Do you really mean that?
I don't make a habit of lying to friends.
And when you say the word friends, you see like just one tear goes down the corner. I'm sorry. And he's just going to then hug you. You are the only one that has ever asked and ever noticed, ever listened. Back when we were done with Druvenholm, when there was the camp after the war, some threatened to kill me. And you're the only one that bothered to ask, to learn that I was scared. I'm not a soldier. I haven't been to war. I still have dreams of those fights. I can't stop dreaming of those things and in terrible visions and lakes of lava and death and maws and rust. But you at least asked.
That is
Thank
just...
you.
I'm happy to, though I will say don't try to hold it against anyone else too much. It's kind of the person I am to ask. I see the struggles people have the things everyone is going through, even if they themselves don't. Hell, even Liska, I've noticed, has some troubles of her own. But just like you're struggling, just like you were struggling, just like you were scared or had doubts, everyone else is dealing with their own demons. Scratch that, devils. Addendum, devils, not demons. Fucking force of habit. Everyone has their own devils. And, well, I had my own. I'd heard enough war stories to maybe not be as affected, but sometimes people keep to themselves and are too busy looking within to notice the without. That doesn't mean they don't care any less, or that what you think and feel doesn't matter. Just I happened to be the one who was able to listen.
And he kind of backs up a little bit, and he takes one of his little chef's rag and he dots at your chest where his damp eyes were. It's not that you happen to be the one that listened. It's because it's who you are and it's what you do. And it's why I will always listen to you and always be your friend. And I will always be Vadima's friend. No matter what happens, she will always find safety behind my walls. And if I'm not here, well, I'll leave behind someone like Mikey who is.
Well,
Long after we're both gone, the stones will remain, and so will she.
I think
That's
she's
all I
like,
can really offer.
it's more than anyone could. Thank you. And as the friend you listen to when I say this. You are a mountain god. You are a master rune carver and cook. But more than that, you are a man who gets things done. You've created wonders. New oddities the world has never seen. Put your mind to things and you do them. So, have faith in this when I say. At this point, he sort of like takes a knee to be on direct eye level with him. You and Tora are going to take back your kingdom. And I know you will be able to do it. It's just a case that you believe in the same. It'll happen.
I won't ask you to join me to cross the world again and go back to where we all started. Or so. A little bit more north than Morkney, I suppose. But
Well,
I hope that you will come by once all is done. Either to see what I've done, or to see my headstone.
you're too stubborn to die, Angus.
Maybe.
Right now.
Should have
right
died to
now.
that big guy with the crystal sword, but still here.
Well, that's the power of dealing with today's. And right now, everything is kind of nothing but today's. I mean, we got the Ring of Claws, but after that, it's... it's unclear waters. So I can't promise I'll come to help. If I can, I will try, but... Well, we've seen enough today's to know that anything could happen. No matter what, though, I know you'll be fine.
I'll get through today. And
And
when
you'll
I
be stronger for it.
When I do, I will be strong. And when I get to my temple, I'll have an entire year's worth of today's. Those grounds that have been preparing, getting ready for a spell. The same one I cast to make that big old temple in the markets. I'm gonna go ahead and do to the ancestors. And if I do it for a year, it'll last forever. magic and gleaming and safe. A place where people can feel secure, a little closer to the peaks of valor.
That is a legacy worth striving for.
It is. Which is why it's going to sting all the more when I go back up to Mountain Home and stay there for a year. It's a long time to sit idle. I don't blame you if you continue about the worlds, gallivanting on your adventures. If you're ever in the neck of the woods, though, come stop by. Especially after about a year's time. I'm not trying to sit down my roots forever there. I just need something that can keep the clan safe.
Well, I have to come see your handiwork at some point, haven't I?
Aye, that you do. That you do. I'm actually quite good with a chisel, you know.
Well, you are a dwarf. It'd be weird if you weren't.
There's a few out there that don't know their hammers from their strikes.
Well then, a lot of hungry mouths waiting for us. Shall we get going?
Let's finish this up then. Thank you for all the help. I don't mean the cooking.
Just paying
I'll
it
try
back in
and
kind,
be more
Angus.
honest. Okay.
Right, got the Lord then.
See you.
Alright.
Right.
And then they cook.
So you finish up your meal for the evening. We will... You know what, I think that's a good moment to leave the session out on.
Yeah.
Alright. Until next session, I shall stop recording in 3, 2, 1.